have Midoriya paired with Bakugo. And their opponent is...
I am here to fight!
We're up against All Might!
You're going to have to work together, boys, if you want to win.
What's up, guys? It's the Nightwing at Way of Life Esports coming at you guys with another video here today, and I'm going to be explaining certain things in this video that are going to overall better improve the channel. As you guys know, I'm always a person that's ready to change certain things if I feel like the quality of something is just not there, and I feel like as of late I have really learned a lot about how to create league content. I've learned that people like certain things, some people don't. I still have a lot of ideas that I want to, basically do. And you have to be able to capitalize on certain league content, during the year, because November and December, you're basically just at the mercy of the off-season news when a bunch of teams obviously try to, fix their rosters for the up-and-coming spring split after Worlds. So you want to make sure you're capitalizing on everything that's happening around the world. That's why I try to cover every single region as best as I can, the LCS, LEC, LCK, and the LPL. As you guys have, heard me say, I will be covering the LPL playoffs. After this video goes up, I will be watching the LPL playoffs. I don't know what has happened so far. I don't want to be spoiled. I want to watch the series. Obviously, as I've been basically consuming a lot of the content from the LCK and the LPL, just watching it for the first time in VOD form, whether it be that or highlights. It doesn't really matter as long as I'm watching it and paying attention to what's going on. So that brings me obviously to this part of the video, and I'm going to explain everything so that way there's no confusion. So the LOL podcast came out as the initial idea to basically have a podcast like The Dive, Euphoria, Pog State, Face Check, Summoning Insight, things like that. And obviously I have Rift Insight, which is with me and my friend, as you guys know, Buff Studman, that is on there as well. So people have asked me, what happened? You guys haven't been streaming that lately. Mr. Buff Studman was actually sick. So yeah, that's the only reason why we haven't been doing it, because I've been asking him, and the last time I asked him, he was sick. Me and him hung out for a little bit, and he was still sick. So obviously when he feels better, Rift Insight will be continuing. I don't want to put out series on the channel that are not a continuing thing. Obviously, I make those series to be a recurring, continuing thing, and it's not just him that can obviously be on Rift Insight. I can obviously add other people. I think Hedgie was on the last one that we did, and since Mr. Buff Studman was sick, ultimately I'm probably gonna have to bring on another person to take over his spot until he gets better. So that's what's going on with Rift Insight. But if Mr. Buff Studman definitely gets better, in the meantime, which is pretty much by this week or next week, then there's no need for another person or a guest because he'll ultimately have returned. So let's move on to this video, and why I'm even making this video is because the LOL podcast is going to be discontinued, but it is going to be rebranded as something different, as I want to call it, the C9FanCast. Now, let me explain everything. That way there's no confusion and people pretend they don't have ears and don't want to hear anything. So, initially when I started the LOL podcast, I had the idea of what I've just said, The Dive, Euphoria, and Face Check, Summoning Insight, things like that. But for me personally, I am very honest with my opinions, and I like to obviously have other people on because it brings a different dynamic having other people on where you can get their opinions and their takes overall. Now, just because you don't agree on certain things doesn't mean I'm not willing to hear you out. I'm not like that. I can accept other people have difference of opinions than me. And I want to give a big shout out to my consistent members, Zen and Ravioli. You guys are amazing. And initially, when I first started the podcast for what I do for this channel, it was Hedgie who was first. So big shout out to you, my Australian brother, as well. So moving forward, there's going to be no more LOL podcast. It's just going to be rebranded as a C9FanCast. Now, someone recently brought up that the community might think it's a biased fan cast where we're not going to obviously criticize certain things about Cloud9. No, that's not how that works. That's literally not how it's going to work. Not for me. You're not gonna get any bias out of me. Like I've said before in constant videos, I am not a fanboy, I am a fan of the team, which means that if they do something wrong in a game, or if they have questionable things that I want to bring up, I am going to speak my mind, you know? There is no, I mean, I can't control other people. It is what it is. I cannot control the people's minds. If you think I can, well, that's your own personal problem, because I'm not going to do that, and that's not what I'm going to do. I'm only going to speak for myself. The reason why I'm rebranding it is because I think the overall quality of the LOL podcast, from how it started versus how it ended, is how I initially wanted to start. And I got my feet wet when I first started doing it, and I'm like, okay, I did this for my main YouTube channel, which is going to be in the link in the description box below if you guys want to subscribe to my main YouTube channel, where I started off with very few podcasts, and then I rebranded, you know, both of them into one thing, and it's been doing really, really well. And now I have two, one that is obviously live streamed and one that is literally, you know, pre-recorded. So that's obviously something that I want to do on this channel. I'm gonna, you know, reboot the LOL podcast and then call it the C9FanCast. Now, this does not mean if you are a fan of another team, you can't be on here. It does not mean that. You could be a Team Liquid fan, you could be a FlyQuest fan, you could be a T1 fan, Fnatic fan, G2 fan, a team in the LPL, LCK that no one even gives a fuck about. You can come on. It's not for that. We are obviously fans of certain teams or players, and that's why I'm rebranding it this way. If you feel like there's gonna be biased on this, then don't come on. I don't want you on. I don't need you anyway. I already have a dedicated group of people that are gonna be on anyway, so I really don't need you. So, also, caveat off that, if you want to be a part of the podcast moving forward, the link to the Discord group is in the description box below of every single video moving forward. I fixed all the links, so if someone ever goes, well, the previous Discord link on past videos have been expired, I already took care of that. I already took care of that. The link is not going to expire anymore, and it's on the main page of the channel. So, like I said before, if you want to be a part of the group, and be consistent part of the group, you can join in the link in the description box below. But I am rebranding the podcast to be called C9FanCast. I was gonna call it Win Lane Win Game. I was gonna call it LCS Fan Podcast, but then I realized, whoa. I'm the person who owns the channel. I can make all the decisions. I get to do that as the owner of this. And I'm like, no, I want to call it what I want to call it. If people don't like it, well, fuck them. The fuck? You're not gonna watch anyway, so why should I care? You know what I mean? Because the reason why I'm putting the C9 part in there is because C9 was the very first esports team that I fell in love with. You know, without them, I wouldn't really be here, honestly, watching their gameplay at Worlds 2014 and falling in love with high ball, sneaky, Meteos, elimination. You know, so that's also a little nod at my past, too. And obviously, I love G2 as well. I've been watching G2 since they came into the EULCS. I was going to call it C9 G2 Fancast, but that's just not gonna really work in a big giant way where it's gonna be rememberable by a lot of things. So I'm just gonna initially call it the C9FanCast, and that's the new rebranded League of Legends podcast that is, you know, pre-recorded with a cast of people, and then we just put them out every single week. Now the podcasts are recorded 6:30 p.m. PST every single Tuesday, because people keep asking and they keep forgetting, and it's the same thing. Also, if I switch a day on the podcast, that's because I had to cancel because of something coming up in my personal life. I can't control those things, you know. Also, you might see podcasts from my main channel that I'll put up on here as well. I know some people ask me, why did I do that? It was just to initially gather up general interest to see what else you guys are interested in beside League of Legends. So, on the C9FanCast, I will be putting up podcasts from my main channel, not all the time, but you will see them from time to time. It spices things up. It creates a different level of engagement, because ultimately, if you play League of Legends, you probably like other things. So that's pretty much it. So yeah, this video is to obviously tell you guys that the LOL podcast is being rebranded to the C9FanCast. If you don't like the name, oh well, it is what it is at the end of the day. If you feel like there's bias, I'm not gonna do that. That's not me personally. But I cannot control the people. And if you don't like the name, you don't have to be on. And you can obviously join if you're a Team Liquid fan, a Fnatic fan, a G2 fan, a T1 fan. It doesn't really matter to me. I don't care. I like having your opinions on. Also, if you're joining the podcast, I want your mics to be good. There's no if, ands, ors, or buts. That's it. If you don't have a good mic, I'm kicking you out instantly if the podcast starts, because that is not good for people who are listening to this video, going to work, downloading it, and obviously watching it during the day to have content to consume. You have to have a good mic. That's it. That's lit. Yeah, that's it. So, see you guys later. Like, comment, subscribe. Most of all, enjoy. I'm the Nightwing. And if you guys are watching this video today, then please be on the lookout to join the Discord group. We can be on the podcast for the first inaugural episode of the C9FanCast. And I can't wait to see you there. If you are going to join, if not, it is what it is. Then peace out. Nightwing is signing out, guys. Whoa. One more thing. The LCS playoff series. After I do the EG series, I'll be, I guess, redoing how I look at the playoffs, because it seems like some people are just not interested in how I did it, so I'll obviously just be redoing the LCS side of it. The LPL, I have to watch the game, so I'm going to have to probably have that as my reactions overall, because I have not seen any playoff series yet from the LPL. So, see you guys later. Goodbye. Have a good day. Nightwing is signing out. Peace.
Hi there, guys. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel for more stuff.
Yeah, thank you.